Russians are spreading propaganda to try to create a pretext for potentially using chemical weapons against the Ukraine.
Someone like Tucker Carlson, right? I
Money?
mean, is it money? Who's paying him that money? For him. I know that he's visited Moscow and other places.
Arrest people for doing stuff like this.
A peacekeeping mission, because that's what's being reported on TV.
Except for the people who are out protesting.
But right, but in the same way, it almost seems impossible to believe. And then you realize there's people in America who think January 6th was, some sort of patriotic act.
So as you saw just right there briefly at the top of this video, there is just some things that are too stupid to not address. But before we get started, thank you for coming back to this channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. The like button is the most important thing you could do as a viewer, above anything else. Of course, subscriptions are important. We need to get to that 1,000, and I'm hoping that someone's watching this back in time going like, what are you talking about, dude? You're well over 1,000 already. I'm not at this moment in time because YouTube hates me. Like, boom. Did you do it? You got it? Good. Let's move on. So, I don't know if ABC, I think it's ABC. Is it ABC or CBS? Whatever. I don't know. I don't have television like that. I feel like they were just completely intent on hiring the dumbest people on the planet. Now, I understand that it's 5 women out there. I'm not saying that women are dumber than men. In fact, if you look at the things, they're much smarter on the far end. Your smarty pantses, look at you with your little pantsuits and all that. I don't know what I'm talking. Move on. But of course, that they get tasked with letting every single postmenopausal, overweight, obese cat mom out there, they're in charge of giving the information of the world. And they've done an absolutely terrible job of doing so. And of course, they have to talk about Russia and Ukraine. Of course. Of course. Of course. Their political enemies can't just have a difference of opinion. They have to be Russian assets, including Tucker Carlson, the most popular news anchor, host on television person in the United States, and Tulsi Gabbard, the person who single-handedly ended Kamala Harris's presidential campaign back in the Democratic primaries of 2020. Holy crap, why else would the establishment media and all their daddies and sponsors not want to attack her? 5 women compete over who is the dumbest broad on the planet.
News's host, Tucker Carlson, is apparently a big hit in Russia right now.
He's a big hit, and you see it already? Do you
The website Mother Jones posted a leaked Kremlin war memo instructing Russian state media to play Tucker Carlson clips as much as possible. And Tulsi Gabbard is being accused of spreading Russian false flag propaganda. Here's what they've both been saying about the war. Take a look.
Democrats in Washington have told you have a patriotic duty to hate Vladimir Putin. It's not a suggestion, it's a mandate. Anything less than hatred for Putin is treason. Hating Putin has become the central purpose of America's foreign policy. Secret biolabs? Like the secret biolabs Ukraine definitely doesn't have? Ukraine has those? Yes, it does.
Oh my God. I can't believe Tucker would say such things. You mean you should think before just hating someone?
There are 25 to 30 U.S.-funded biolabs in Ukraine. According to the U.S. government, these biolabs are conducting research on dangerous pathogens. Now, like COVID, these pathogens know no borders. If they are inadvertently or purposely breached or compromised, they will quickly spread all throughout Europe, the United States, and the rest of the world, causing untold suffering and death.
Oh my God, the propaganda. You're telling me that dangerous pathogens are dangerous? That is Russian propaganda. Of course Russia would want you to think that dangerous pathogens are dangerous. Ugh, what is she thinking?
So Mitt Romney claims Gabbard is pushing treasonous lies that could cost lives. So I'm just going to open it up to the table. What the hell's going on?
So I think Mitt Romney is absolutely right, by the way. So what this is the Russians are spreading propaganda to try to create a pretext for potentially using chemical weapons against the Ukrainians.
This, you saw it in the Tucker part. They're saying this about Tulsi Gabbard spreading Russian. They're saying it's Russian propaganda after the U.S. government, that lady in the like blue, green, whatever, like suit jacket, said that there were biological research centers, aka biolabs, that's the short form, in Ukraine, that there was a danger of the Russians taking them over. She works for the American government. She came out. She said it. She confirmed the conspiracy theory. YouTube, you were taking down people for saying it just a week and a half ago. Are you putting the videos back up, you little bitches?
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of.
They're saying it's propaganda after she said it, after she admitted it. So they are honestly sitting here hoping that a majority of their audience hasn't actually taken the time to watch these things happen, that they're just sitting there waiting for people like them to give them the information, and they're not going to roll the footage of the woman saying, yeah, there's biological research centers in Ukraine, lots of them, and we're scared that Russia's going to get them because we're studying dangerous pathogens in it. And they're like, oh, that's propaganda. It's Russian propaganda. So the woman who is there, that is helping justify the war and stepping in against Russia, is spreading Russian propaganda because of Russia wants them to intervene to stop them from accomplishing what they want to accomplish in the war because Russia is masochistic? What?
Can you imagine taking the position of Putin, not so bad of a guy? It's just bizarre. It's un-American.
How does he get away with that? I mean,
it's the most watched man in cable news. It's actually really scary.
I think gets away with it. Tucker Carlson. If there's a Tucker and Laura Ingraham and Tulsi Gabbard.
Well, listen, the Fox board of directors should really step in. If they call themselves patriots and they, it's not enough to be posting flags about Ukraine. There's a bunch of folks on that board of directors list, like my friend Paul Ryan, who I wish would be weighing in and saying we cannot be Russian state TV.
Oh, but they have to be United States state TV. They have to be NATO state TV. They have to be Big Pharma state TV. That's okay. Just don't be Russian state TV, right, Anna? Yes, I believe that is the way that it should be.
I guess for me, the question is, what is in it for someone like Tucker Carlson, right? I mean, is it money? Who's paying him that money?
What could be in it for Tucker Carlson? Because I, Sonny Hostin, I always get paid to tell you exactly what I'm saying. I get paid to say these things, so Tucker must be getting paid. Unbelievable. See, that's the problem. When you're somebody who gets paid to lie, you have no choice but to think that everyone else in a similar position as you, in a similar field as you, is also getting paid by somebody.
I'm not making any allegations, but it's just...
I'm not making any allegations. I'm just going to throw out possibilities and allege that he might just be getting paid. Those aren't allegations, though. I'm just alleging something. It's not an allegation. It's just alleging.
It doesn't make sense that he would do this kind of thing. I mean, he also says that the United States helped encourage the Russian invasion. He said the United States engineered a coup in Ukraine in the name of democracy.
They did. How do you think Zelensky is the one in power in Ukraine? This is known. This has been known. This is it was like 2014, and maybe the United States didn't instigate this, but NATO might have. NATO might have, forced Russia's hand in all this. I know that there's like this myth, and this you have to think that it's like, oh, it's just indiscriminate war. But if that was the case, this would have happened a long time ago, wouldn't you think? If it was just indiscriminate, why wouldn't this be happening a lot sooner? Why now? Why now of all times? Why now of all moments? Is it because certain things are getting dropped? Is it because certain papers got released? Is it because certain patents were exposed? I don't know.
He, as we just mentioned, confirmed these Russian claims about bioweapons. And he's characterizing this situation as a border dispute.
Well, I mean, Tucker also was just quoting someone, like I said earlier, in the United States government who said that there was a biohazard that could occur, and it is a border dispute. It's a border dispute if someone is trying to absorb another part of a country. That's what a border dispute is, Sonny. I know that just saying it's a border dispute makes it sound like it's soft, like a soft thing, but Israel and Palestine is a border dispute. It's a violent border dispute, but the entire basis of why Palestine and Israel fight is over where the borders are. Is that not correct? Isn't that the whole point of what's going on? That there's the Gaza Strip is what separates it. That's a border. It separates whatever's the invisible line that separates countries is a border. And if countries disagree with where that invisible line exists, then they're having a border dispute. This isn't like, what else is it? What else are these things other than border disputes when another country is trying to absorb parts or all of another country? It's a border dispute. They want to expand their borders and they want to decrease the borders of another country. This, see what I mean by like dummies? By dummies? Like they say things like, oh, he's just claiming it's a border dispute because it is something else. What else could it be? Oh, I know. Oil. That's why every single base of the United States and like all the NATO people, where are they positioned currently in Ukraine? Where the oil is.
Right? And so what is in it for him? I know that he's visited Moscow and other places. And you can.
Oh, no. Tucker Carlson visited Moscow? Oh, God. You're telling me he visited other countries? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. He visited Moscow at some point in his life because that's relevant. It's like, did you know that this person visited Venezuela? Oh my God. Can you believe that they visited Israel? Can you believe that they visited Iraq? Can you believe that they visited South Africa? Can you believe that they visited China? Can you believe that they visited Japan? Can you believe that they visited Canada? Can you believe they visited California? Can you believe they visited Chicago? Can you believe they visited London? Can you believe they visited Chicago? Can you believe they visited London again? Oh my God, oh my God.
Tell me in my ear if I'm wrong about that. But I just don't understand what the impetus is.
I hope he's planning to move to Moscow because he's not going to be welcome here for much longer.
According to who? He's the most popular television host in the country. Not everyone thinks like you, Joy Behar. Okay? Okay.
But I think that's an incredibly relevant question. Yeah. And I think DOJ, in the same way that it is setting up a task force to investigate oligarchs, should look into people who are Russian propagandists and shilling for Putin. That's being, if you are a foreign asset to a dictator, it should be investigated. In fact,
really, Anna? Huh. You know what? Maybe you're right. And let's start with a man named Al Cardenas, who just so happens to be, your husband, Al Cardenas. You like that accent? My husband, Al Cardenas. He is a lawyer. Good for you. He's also the most prominent lobbyist in the United States. No coincidence. He is a partner at Squire Patton Boggs. Why is that necessary? Why is that relevant? Why is Squire Patton Boggs and an association with them so relevant to this conversation? Well, it's because they have offices in where? Moscow. So, as this person says, it's probably worth asking how much of Ana Navarro's household income comes from Russia. No, I used to work for Jeb Bush, and no, I do not take no money, even though when I come to this country, I was used as a political spy for a foreign country because there was war in my country, and that has no bearing. It's not even the same thing as when a news host read news. I was spying. That was my original job, but it's not the same.
I remember when Tulsi Gabbard, and I even hate that we're discussing it because I think to myself, who is this woman? She's she's no longer in Congress. She's a failed presidential candidate. She only practically exists on Twitter. And the fact that we're giving her oxygen is what makes her relevant, that we're talking about her on hot topics.
You mean like Hillary Clinton? Who The View constantly talks about? Who just got a podcast? Who they're always like, oh, Hillary Clinton had this to say about that because her opinion is so relevant. She's a failed presidential candidate. She's not even in Congress anymore. But those things about her is what makes her opinion relevant, but not Tulsi Gabbard. Why? Because Tulsi is the one that destroyed Kamala Harris's presidential campaign, proved that she was the least popular Democrat candidate, which is why Kamala now sends the orders from the top to make sure that Tulsi Gabbard is always smeared.
But on the other hand, how do you not call out something that is repeating false Russian propaganda and that has been brought?
What did she repeat that was false? Again, she said there's labs there, and it's dangerous if we don't secure them before shelling happens over there. Now, again, lady in the suit in the House, asked by Marco Rubio, is the one that said this. It's on the record of the United States government that this is true. What is she lying about?
They used to arrest people for doing stuff like this.
They used to arrest people for questioning the government. They used to arrest people for questioning wars. They used to arrest people. Why aren't they doing it now?
They used to actually investigate stuff like this, and I guess now, there seems to be no bars, and people are not being told to hate Putin. Putin doesn't need a reason to be hated. It's pretty much clear.
He started a war.
He started an unnecessary war
This is kind
that
of
nobody
like,
wanted.
isn't this contributing to the death and destruction of the country and the civilians there?
Well, this is why I say, how can they pat themselves on the back and say, good job?
Well,
when you know he just blew up a hospital with children.
Oh, so Putin's bad for blowing up hospitals is only a good thing when Barack Obama orders it to happen in Libya, Syria, and all that. Blowing up those hospitals is perfectly fine. Nobel Peace Prize winning president. It's perfectly fine when it's happening in the Middle East and it's Barack Obama ordering it. Those hospitals don't matter. We're not even going to talk about them. Oh no, we're not going to talk about them.
Well, Fox viewers know it. They see it.
Fox viewers do know it. My concern also is, do the Russian people don't know it?
No.
I know this weekend, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Instagram was taken down in Russia. They really are. They almost have a digital curtain now over all information coming out of Russia. And I think a lot of Russians, they've been reporting, they believe that this war is some sort of great mission.
They think it's a peacekeeping mission because that's what's being reported on state
Except
TV.
for the people who are out protesting.
They think it's a peacekeeping mission. You mean like all the war in the Middle East over the last 20 years? They think it's a peacekeeping mission. What fucking idiots. God, could there be less self-awareness? Anna Navarro, you were a Republican during the George Bush senior years. You were a Republican during the George Bush junior years. And you got the balls to criticize people for thinking and saying that something is actually just a peacekeeping mission. You fucking asshole. Oh, you're a bitch.
No, that was different because the Jeb Bush who I work for in Florida, he was a good man. They were
But in the same way, that it almost seems impossible to believe, and then you realize there's people in America who think January 6th was, some sort of patriotic act.
Oh, those dummies that thought January 6th was a patriotic act. Not the people who thought that the Iraq War was. Oh, it's really scary when you think about that, isn't it? And then of course you get big time dummies like Keith Olbermann. Everyone knows Keith Olbermann. Remember Keith Olbermann?
Booster shot. Mission accomplished. And it is time to stop coddling them, the ones who won't get the damn shot already. And our first step, you and I, is symbols, the language we use. We call these people vaccine hesitant, vaccine skeptics, anti-vax. We say they're protesting mandates and passports. They're making a personal choice. They're waiting for more information. They're making a medical decision. Bullshit! They're afraid. They're afraid to get vaccinated. Stop feeding their egos about what they're doing. Stop legitimizing it. Vaccine hesitant, they're afraid. Vaccine skeptics, they're afraid. Anti-vax, they're afraid. They're protesting mandates and passports, they're afraid. They're making a personal choice, they're afraid. They're waiting for more information, afraid. They're making a medical decision to be afraid. The snowflakes are afraid. Afraid of the vaccine. Afraid of being proved wrong. Afraid of doing what anybody else in the world tells them to do. Afraid of needles. So no more pleasant euphemisms about what's going on here. Apart from the people who have legitimate medical complications about vaccines, we have to stop coddling the morons who will not get the shot. We start by calling them what they are. They are all snowflakes and cowards and idiots and losers. And most importantly, they are afraid.
This is what Keith Olbermann had. Keith Olbermann also had this to say. They are Russian assets and there is a war. There is a case for detaining them militarily. Trials are a sign of good faith and patience on part of democracy. What the fuck are you talking about? They are Russian assets. Because as responded to him, yes, nothing says democracy like detaining those with opposing political beliefs. Yep, nothing says it. Nothing says it. Well, I guess the only thing left to say is it now obvious why certain groups of people believe the things that they believe? Because, by the way, YouTube is where I got that view clip from. Right? Pointed out very, very blatant, obvious misinformation. Now, you can claim that it wasn't intentional all you want, but then why is it that other people's videos get taken down and strikes get levied to their channel for misinformation? But this is why, because people get information from these people and they don't actually just go out and look at the videos themselves. That's it. That's all. If you made it this far, thank you. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll be back later on with more content. Right? But hit the like and hit the subscribe.
Have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say is will get attention this time.